When we think of an ambassador, we often imagine someone sent on behalf of their country to represent its interests in a foreign land. As Christians, we are called to be ambassadors, not of any earthly nation, but for Christ himself. Paul in 2 Corinthians 5 gives us a powerful picture of what it means to represent Jesus to the world. Paul begins by speaking of our fearful responsibility to the Lord, fearful not in the sense of terror, but in a deep reverence for God. As ambassadors, we carry the message of Christ with this reverence. We are mindful of who sent us and that our lives and actions should point others to him. We are not called to represent ourselves, but Christ. Our task is not self-promotion, but to reveal the love and truth of Jesus to others. Paul goes on to say that Christ's love controls or compels us, and this is the driving force behind our ambassadorship. Jesus' sacrificial love displayed on the cross is what motivates us to live not for ourselves, but for the one who died and was raised for us. As ambassadors, our motivation isn't duty alone, but a deep sense of gratitude for the love Christ has shown us. In Christ, we are a new creation. Our old life is gone, a new life has begun. This transformation shapes the way we represent Christ to the world. Those we meet should see something different in us, a new way of living, thinking, and loving, no longer driven by worldly concerns, but by the Spirit of God. This new identity enables us to speak of the power of the gospel to others, showing them that change is possible in Christ. Our ambassadorship comes with a message of reconciliation. Paul says that God has reconciled us to himself through Christ and has given us the ministry of reconciliation. This means that as ambassadors, we are called to help others be restored in their relationship with God. We carry the message that through Jesus, every barrier between God and humanity has been removed. People can now have peace with God because of what Jesus has done. Finally, Paul declares that we are Christ's ambassadors. God, we're making his appeal through us. This is an incredible responsibility and privilege. Our words, our actions, and our lives are meant to reflect Christ's message to the world. And as the New Living Translation puts it, we speak for Christ when we plead, "Come back to God." The heart of our message is this: Jesus became sin for us so that in him we might become the righteous of God. In conclusion, as ambassadors for Christ, we're called to represent him in every aspect of our lives. This is not a role we take on for a few hours, a week, but a constant and ongoing mission. Everywhere we go, in every conversation, and through every action, we are to reflect Christ to the world around us. Let us take this call seriously, driven by the love of Christ and empowered by his Spirit, knowing that we have been entrusted with the greatest message of all, reconciliation with God through Jesus Christ.